You're a young, ambitious artist with dreams of mastering the guitar, being able to effortlessly play any song you want and impress millions of people, but you have no idea where to start. Listen, I used to suck at guitar. But over the course of the last 2 years, I've gained 1 million followers from just my guitar skills alone. Get asked this all the time. If I wanted to get here, but I'm just starting out on guitar, what would be the first things I would learn? Therefore, in this video, I'm going to show you the 5 starting principles for teenagers who want to get good at guitar. The tutors are not going to be happy I'm sharing this. These principles I'm about to share with you will be useless if you don't change this one thing, which is your mindset. This is your step 0 to getting good at the guitar, and what we need to do is we need to reform the way we think about actually playing the guitar. Chances are you have a negative view towards playing the guitar. You think practice is boring, you never want to do it, thus you'll never make progress. But that's all in your head. That's all perspective. So how you're going to shift from this negative mindset is you're going to stop looking at it as practice, but more look at it as play. Think about it. No one learned to get good at speaking English by reciting, repeating, rehearsing. No, they just spoke English, and over time, you just adapt to the skill. Same goes with playing the guitar. My fastest progress on guitar always came from periods of when I was just playing songs I really liked listening to and I just really liked playing. I literally was just playing guitar rather than reciting, rehearsing, and practicing. Obviously, there will be times where you need to knuckle down and put in some effort into learning a skill, especially one that's new to you. Think of it like miniature steps towards playing your dream songs. First principle to getting good at guitar is learning open chords. A lot of you guys probably already know how to play these, so I'm not going to dwell on them for too long, but you need to learn the C, A, G, E, D major, and then A, E, D minor. Here's what they look like, and I'm going to play how they sound as well. I recommend you guys pause the video so you guys can practice along to these. So once you get good at playing them individually, then you want to try and practice switching in between 2 chords. Now, at first, this can be really tricky and your brain will hurt a lot when you try and do this, but this skill doesn't take a long time to adapt to, so just keep at it. Then once you get good at switching between the chords, you can then try and play a song. 2 I recommend for this is Good Riddance by Green Day and Video Games by Lana Del Rey. 2 really good songs for practicing these open chords. Second starting principle is getting good at spider exercises. Now the premise is super simple. All we're going to do is put our first finger on fret 7 here of the E string, the thickest string. Then we're going to play 1, 2, 3, 4, and then come back down. It's super simple. Pause the video now and try to play that yourself. Now that you're comfortable with that, try and play 1, 2, 3, 4 on the thickest string like we just did. And then on the next string down, play another 1, 2, 3, 4. And then come back down to where we first began. Eventually, the goal of this exercise is to be able to play that pattern on all 6 strings, all the way up and all the way down, just like this. Now, this shouldn't take too long to get fluent at, but if you're getting stuck halfway through the exercise, slow down, stay calm, think about the next note, think about where your fingers are next going to be. Think about the next string you're going to pick. These things, eventually, they'll all come naturally to you. You won't have to think about any of it, and you'll automate the whole process. So just keep at it. These first two principles I just showed you are going to be your foundation, literally your bread and butter. Basically everything else you learn on guitar is going to build upon these two skills. If you're unsure on how you can actually go about practicing these principles within your busy schedule, I made a full practice routine with everything on it laid out step by step, all for completely free. If you want this, then click on the first link in the description. Principle number 3 is to learn the minor pentatonic scale. This is what it looks like. It's super simple. This shouldn't take too long at all, but it's crucial that you guys get this down and also learn it by heart. This playing pattern is essentially going to be your gateway into learning guitar solos, as most of the solos that you'd have listened to are actually based off of this shape. And even more importantly, you're going to use it for the next principle, principle number 4, which is learning the basic lead guitar techniques. Using that minor pentatonic shape, you're going to practice hammer-ons, pull-offs, slides, and bends. The key here is to keep it simple, and that's why you're only going to practice them within that minor pentatonic shape. Here's what these techniques look like on the 7th and 9th fret of the G string. So starting with hammer-ons, going to start with the lower note, and then how it works is we hammer on, literally it's in the name, we hammer on to a note higher up than that first one. And we do that while the note is ringing. So it's now ringing, and then we're going to hammer on with the higher note. And I'm doing that from 7 to 9. So just one more time. But how you make these sound good is it's all about the connection. It's all about how well you can connect with that higher note. So I'd recommend practicing that with 7 and 9, just like this. And keep on going till it just rings out, till it just sounds like this. Then after you get that down, you can practice with other fingers. Practice with 1 and 2. Practice with 1 and 3 like we just did, and then also 1 and 4. Really quick way to practice is just rapid repetition, so keep on just doing. Alright, next we're going to be talking about pull-offs, and these are literally just a reverse hammer-on. Essentially, we're going to start with a higher note this time and just pull off to the lower note. It's literally the opposite of a hammer-on. So, these are what they sound like. Literally a reverse hammer-on. And the key is to kind of like, with the higher note, our higher finger, we're gonna like do that. We're gonna pluck the string. So we're not just pulling off as in like pulling away from the fretboard. We're actually plucking the string as we come down, kind of like we do with a pick. We're plucking the string, so no right hand involved, just. And a really good way of practicing them is just doing this. These will also get your hammer-ons really on point as well. I'd recommend practicing it like that. Just go like, and then eventually. But the key is to get that plucking action involved. So now that you've got your hammer-ons and your pull-offs down, there's a really quick way of practicing them, which is to use the minor pentatonic scale, but to play it in a certain way. So we can all play it like. So I'm hoping you can, maybe not that fast, but you can play it by now. But instead, we're going to do hammer-ons on the way up and then pull-offs on the way down. So this is what it should look like. And then pull-offs on the way down. And just going up and down like that is a really quick way to practice your hammer-ons and pull-offs and get really good at them really quick. Okay, next technique we're going to be talking about is our string bends. It's kind of in the name. We're just going to bend the string upwards. And when you bend the string like that, when you do that, you change the pitch of the note. The most common kind of bends you do is a half bend or a full bend. We're just going to focus on the full bend for now, because that's the most common one. And all you do is you bend the notes up until you reach that desired note. So let's bend fret 9, and what's 2 frets above fret 9? That's fret 11, so we need to get to this note. So let's bend and just listen. There's the note. Can you hear that? Wait, maybe a bit higher. You can hear the note. This is the key to bends, is you need to get them to reach the desired note. That's the whole point of them. And this is how I'd recommend you guys start with bends, is you do it with 3 fingers on, right? You can bend with 1 finger or 2 fingers, but start with 3 fingers on, because this is going to give you the most strength to bend the string up. But yeah, just practice doing that. I would recommend practicing from 9 to 11, just like how I demonstrated. Then come back down. And that's how you do a bend. Okay, last technique we're going to be talking about is our slides. 2 kind of slides you can do. You can either do them from like one note to the other. Like let's say we're trying to go from 7 to 9. You can just slide up there like that. Or you can do kind of like a percussive slide, where you just go like... But we'll focus on that first technique first. It's pretty simple. We just put 1 finger down. It can be any finger, literally 1, 2, 3, or 4. But just start with finger 1. Starting on the 7, we're going to slide up to the 9. One thing I struggled with when I was trying to do slides is maintaining the pressure of the note, like... But what it would sound like when I tried to do it would be like... I couldn't maintain pressure throughout the slide, so just try to keep the pressure down throughout the whole movement. And that's how you can get it to ring out. Then once you get that down, try this. Try and do a slide from 7 to 9, back to 7. So like... And then try it with other fingers. Try it with 2, 3, and maybe even 4. And as for the percussive slide, there's not really much to it. This is all going to come with practice. There's only so much I can say, but you just start really low down, maybe fret 1, and then you just slide really high and back down. Or you can start from the top and come down, and then you start a phrase, so it's like, it'll usually be something like... Now, be warned, this is probably going to be the hardest principle to get down, but it's going to be by far the biggest step towards learning those dream solos, so keep at it guys and do not give up. Eventually you guys are going to get comfortable with those techniques and you'll be ready for the 5th starting principle, which is your first ever guitar solo. 2 absolute classics I recommend for this is Smells Like Teen Spirit and then Californication. So just to recap everything we've gone over, we're going to start with the open chords, get good at playing them individually, and then get fluent at switching between them. After that, we're going to get good at spider exercises. The goal here is to play them on all 6 strings. After that, we're going to learn the minor pentatonic scale and we're going to learn it by heart. Then we're going to use that minor pentatonic scale shape to practice the basic lead guitar techniques. We're going to use that shape to practice hammer-ons, pull-offs, slides, and bends. Once we get good at those techniques, we're now finally ready for our first ever guitar solo. And this is what I would do if I would had to start guitar all over again. If you want the full practice routine to go over all of this, head over to that first link in the description. Follow me on Instagram. If you have any questions or any like video ideas or like videos you want me to do, anything about guitar, put it in the comments section below, or you can ask me on Instagram. I'm now reading DMs. I hope you guys learned something today and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.